Hey, EnteRChazmaN here, and welcome back for another anime review. This time for the Fortuneteller Baba Saga in Dragonball. Now I know I haven't gotten back to my Dragonball Saga review videos in a while, and seeing as how some of you out there really enjoyed some of my previous videos and requested that I continue on with the series, it's something as of late I've definitely wanted to revisit and finish up. Anyways, once again, this is a summary/review, so if you don't want the Fortuneteller Baba Saga within Dragon Ball to be spoiled for you, here's your heads up. And if not, let's go ahead and get right into the action. With Goku having just defeated the Red Ribbon Army and joining his friends back on Roshi's Island, Bulma successfully fixes Goku's Dragon Radar, but can't figure out why the radar isn't showing the last Dragon Ball, and explains that the ball may have been swallowed by a creature, further expounding that the signal could be blocked due to living tissue. Master Roshi then interjects and suggests that Goku seek out the mysterious and all-knowing Fortuneteller Baba, who with her ability and sight, easily should be able to find the Dragon Ball. After seeing Goku completely annihilate the Red Ribbon Army, Krillin and Yamcha decide to join Goku on his next journey in the hopes of learning something from him or possibly getting some training. Puar also joins the group and they take off for Baba's palace, but not without Master Roshi admitting to launch that he didn't really tell them everything. Overall for me, the setup for the saga to this point is kind of average for Dragon Ball stuff. As we continue on, there are some revelations that come to light that make things a bit more interesting, and further builds upon Dragon Ball's lore. All of this hinging around who is Baba? Well, let's continue. During a short pit stop at a local town, Goku decides to branch off of the group and go pick up Appa. Being concerned about Appa being by himself, Goku figures Appa would like to join him on their adventure to find the final Dragon Ball and revive his father. After rejoining their squad, the group encounters some turbulence with an unnatural tornado storm, only to emerge discovering Baba's palace. After experiencing Baba's fortune-telling secondhand, our group finally comes face to face with Baba herself. A small, sweet old lady with a super familiar voice.
Fortuneteller Baba.
That's a funny name.
It's foreboding and mysterious.
I hope you've thoroughly enjoyed your little rebellion. Because now it's over, my restless little warriors.
She tells our heroes the cost of her fortune-telling prowess is a mere 10 million zeni, of which Goku and the group of course do not have, but learn that Baba is also willing to provide her services if their group can defeat her 5 fighters in a sort of tournament. Our heroes of course accept the challenge, proudly pointing to their prowess as fighters and their rankings within the World Martial Arts Tournament. With Krillin's ego and bare bravado exposed, he demands to be the first fight. His opponent is Fangs the Vampire, a funny looking and sounding vampire who apparently can withstand sunlight. The fight is extremely short and a pretty humorous affair, up until Fangs is able to get the drop on Krillin and sinks his teeth right into his dome. Krillin is able to detach Fangs, but during the attachment he lost too much blood and is made lightheaded and easily defeatable. With Krillin down, Appa and Puar decide to team up against Fangs and come up with an interesting strategy involving garlic breath, a porcupine, the cross, and a giant hand. After Fangs' defeat, Yamcha takes on the next fight, which pits him up against an invisible man. First fight was a vampire and the second fight is with an invisible man. Do you see a theme yet? Well, keep watching. This fight is a little more interesting than the previous one. Yamcha isn't able to hone in on where the invisible man is, but eventually he's able to block everything out and focus his hearing on his opponent's movement. But Baba ruins everything with her super loud and annoying singing. Baba's loud singing turns the fight back into the Invisible Man's favor, and for Yamcha, the outcome of the fight begins to look pretty dire. Luckily for Yamcha, Goku returns with Master Roshi and Bulma after having been sent out to retrieve them just moments earlier. Krillin's master plan ends up being using Master Roshi's super awesome dirty old perv abilities, and Bulma's, her Bulma's, to mark the Invisible Man, making him an easy target for Yamcha. The plan works, of course, and the Invisible Man is dispatched rather easily. Master Roshi, under his breath, thanks Krillin for his dastardly plan, and Krillin fills Bulma in as to why exactly they're all fighting. It's at this moment I'm not quite sure why Bulma didn't interject and just offered to pay the 10 million zeni to Baba. I mean, her and her father are super renowned scientists and are incredibly wealthy, and from what I understand, 1 zeni in the Dragon Ball universe essentially equals to 1 yen. So pretty much if you convert 10 million zeni into US currency, that's basically just around $100,000. Of which, come on, Bulma can easily afford that. But of course, if that happened, you'd have a really short saga and miss out on a lot of good fighting. So we'll just assume it slipped her mind. Master Roshi then reveals next that Baba is his sister, a revelation that surprises the group and spurns Krillin on to ask if that means that their fortune will be told, leaving out the rest of the fighting. All of this to which Baba responds, nah, she charges double for family. Baba decides to then move the fighting indoors in her palace, and breaks from the group with Goku. She then treats him to a fantastic feast of food, and what I believe is an attempt to distract Goku, and drops a collection of bricks upon him. Goku of course passes Baba's sly little test, and they move on to rejoin the group. Yamcha emerges into Baba's next battlefield, the Devil's Toilet. As Yamcha awaits his next challenger, Baba makes it known that she wants Goku to join her group of fighters. Goku, of course, shoots this request down and is adamant that he wants to stay with his friends and keep fighting. Fortuneteller Baba accepts Goku's refusal and begins an incantation to call forth her next fighter. It's at this point in the saga that the fighting and action ramps up and definitely gets a lot better, and the uptick definitely starts with Bandages the Mummy. This fight is extremely one-sided, with Bandages totally outclassing Yamcha. Bandages at one point has Yamcha dangling from a ledge and prepared to fall into the Devil Toilet's destructible waters. But he lets Yamcha up, telling him that he wants to continue to beat him down and watch him die. Additionally, Yamcha's Wolf-Fang Fist has no effect on Bandages, and after receiving a good stretch from Bandages, Yamcha is launched into the Devil's Toilet. Luckily, with a precise throw of his power pole, Goku is able to prevent Yamcha from falling into the toilet, saving his life and leading into Goku being the final combatant for his team. This match starts off in a really interesting way, with Bandages being extremely intimidated by Goku's strong defensive stance. The Mummy decides to be the first one to take on offense, and seemingly is allowed to pound on Goku, with Goku not fighting back one bit. Bandages attempts to wrap things up, and has Goku in quite a pickle considering his bandages are darn near steel-like, exclaims Master Roshi. But Goku in ingenious fashion launches himself into the toilet, and uses the toilet's fumes to disintegrate the wrap, and put himself back into the fight. Goku then quickly moves in, and with a single punch to his gut, defeats the Mummy. With Baba's trio of universal monsters mashed, she gets right into throwing her next combatant at Goku. Our group of heroes find her next selection a bit odd, mainly due to the fact that Master Roshi exclaims that she normally saves this fighter for last. But anyways, Spike the Devilman enters the arena, along with his larger-than-life ego. His ego doesn't get him very far though, as Goku slaps him around a few good times, and Spike, feeling as though pushed to his limit, announces he's ready to use his ultimate move, the Devil Might Beam. In true bad guy form, Spike decides to take a moment to tell Goku exactly how the beam works. He'll take all of Goku's negative emotions, things such as fear, anger, hate, jealousy, and aggression, convert it into a form of energy, and unleash the destructive power upon someone. What happens next is one of my favorite moments in all of OG Dragon Ball. Spike fires his Devil Might beam at Goku and lands a direct hit. But after a few tense moments, the beam's power weakens and dissipates. To the surprise of everyone in the room, Goku remains with having taken no damage, and Spike in hilarious fashion thinks it a misfire and begins another attack. Unfortunately for him, once again, Goku remains not damaged, and he comes to the realization that Goku doesn't have a single negative thought. Our hero is a pure mind devoid of evil, leaving Spike to search for other ways of winning. Spike, feeling as though at the end of his rope, conjures up a pitchfork and tries to fork Goku. That ends up not going well for him, as Goku hits him with a blinding kick, launching him into the ceiling. With Baba's fourth fighter out of the way, Goku and the gang begin to celebrate their victory, but Baba announces that her mysterious fifth fighter is waiting in the wings, and that he is out of this world. The masked, seemingly elderly gentleman arrives into the arena and makes a request of Baba. He very gently and politely asks that they take the fight outside, saying that he thinks the open air would do everyone good. Baba of course approves, and the next fight is ready to begin. Before entering their final arena, Goku states that his next competitor smells nice, and that his presence makes him feel warm and comfortable. Master Roshi also claims that something about the masked man is familiar, adding to the sense that this gentleman is more than just an old man. Baba declares to begin fighting, and Goku decides to be the first one to initiate the action, taking it to the masked man. This fight, of course, is by far the best one in the saga. With both fighters being pretty closely matched, it definitely leads to some of the most tension in the saga. Something else that I really love about this fight is the masked man's fighting style. Him using the snake-style kung fu stance is just really cool and totally throws me back to like the old school 80s and 90s Jackie Chan movies. Of which, if you haven't seen either of the Drunken Master movies, why haven't you? Back to the action, at one point in the fight, the masked man shocks the crowd by preparing and firing a Kamehameha wave at Goku. Goku shocks him in his own way though by using the afterimage technique, launching himself into the air. As he plummets back towards the arena, Goku fires off his own Kamehameha wave, making a sizable splash, and drops a knee right onto the old man's gut. As Goku thinks himself triumphant, the masked man reaches for his tail, showing he somehow knows of Goku's one weakness. After swinging Goku back and forth into the concrete a bunch of times, our hero's tail eventually pops off, freeing him from his weakness. Goku, not being too happy with what was just done to him, takes a fighting stance, but before any action can be taken, the mysterious man surrenders, withdrawing from the fight. The gentleman then tells Goku that he always used to tell him to work on his one weakness. It would someday be his undoing. Next, he demasks himself, revealing to have been Goku's grandpa Gohan the whole time, and then they embrace. While this scene for me maybe not being the most exciting in the entire Dragon Ball series, it is although one of the most impactful. Getting to see Gohan interact with his grandson Goku and his former master, Master Roshi, definitely brings some closure and answers some questions that have been pondered throughout a lot of the show. Seeing as how the character Gohan should be dead at this point, these events apparently have come to pass thanks to Baba, who while in the otherworld or the afterlife was approached by Gohan, and a compromise was made detailing Gohan becoming one of her fighters, even if for only a day. Goku then leaves and returns with his grandfather's 4-star Dragon Ball, showing how well taken care of it has been, and after much appreciation is exchanged, Gohan returns back to Otherworld. Okay, so everything up until this point has covered episodes 68 through 76. So that does still mean I have 7 episodes to go, being 77 through 83. I'm telling you guys this mainly because these last 7 episodes, in my opinion, are very filler, and some of them are pretty unimportant to the main story. I'd say in total maybe 3 of them are necessary. But anyways, let's go ahead and quickly cover these final 7. Being Goku's prize for winning, Baba finally reveals the location of the final Dragon Ball. It's traveling in a car along a road. Goku quickly makes haste, and comes to find it in the possession of who else? Emperor Pilaf and his group, of course making another go at the Dragon Balls. Pilaf had been containing the Dragon Ball within a safe, preventing it from being read by the Dragon Radar, and in an effort to protect it, he calls forth some mechs and attempts to do battle with Goku. This, as you would expect, does not go well for Pilaf and his gang, and they end up just giving the Dragon Ball back to Goku. With Dragon Ball in hand, Goku returns back to Baba's palace, retrieves Upa, and the two of them make way back to Korin's tower. In the background, Master Roshi agrees to start training Yamcha. Well, he doesn't agree to it at first, but Bulma suggests maybe if he agrees to the training, she may visit a couple times on his island. Once at Korin's tower, Goku brings forth the Eternal Dragon, and allows Upa to make the wish to bring Bora back. The Eternal Dragon accepts and does his thing, and in Pet Cemetery fashion, Bora rises from the grave. They all have a moment, and the dragon says his goodbyes, but before the Dragon Balls can be returned to the ends of the earth, Goku makes a giant leap, retrieving his grandfather's 4-star Dragon Ball. Upa and Goku fill Bora in as to what's been going on, and after they say their goodbyes, Goku returns back to Baba's palace. Our hero goes to Master Roshi and tells him he would like to continue his training towards the next martial arts tournament, and this is how Roshi responds.
Of course I want to get stronger, Master.
Then I can be of no more use to you, son. You've officially outgrown my teachings. It's time for you to set out on your own and learn from the adventure of life.
Goku agrees and says he'll meet them at the next World Martial Arts Tournament in approximately 3 years. But before taking off, Master Roshi of course gives Goku a caveat. He must travel the world without using his flying Nimbus, to which Goku basically just says "K" and takes off. After partaking in many adventures that cover the next 3 episodes, Goku stumbles upon a town that's being terrorized by a creature named EnteRChazmaN, and uncovers a racket by 2 mysterious strangers who are unleashing the creature EnteRChazmaN on towns, and then mysteriously catch the creature, return him to the towns, and get paid out for it. Goku eventually befriends the EnteRChazmaN and ruins the scheme of the mysterious strangers. After a good amount of traveling, Goku reaches a beachfront city and helps out a green fox named Kankichi break free of a life of crime. In doing so, he misses a flight to Papaya Island, the location of the World Martial Arts Tournament, has to hop into the water, and swims in the direction of the island. And that is it, my friends. That was the Fortuneteller Baba Saga in Dragon Ball. Overall, for me, this isn't my favorite saga in Dragon Ball. It definitely has some highs and some lows. Definitely the main things to take away from this saga is the introduction of Fortuneteller Baba, the reunion of Goku and Gohan and the rest of the others, getting to see the conclusion of Upa and Bora's story, and the final thing to take away is there are some hints as to what may be coming in the next saga. Well, what did you guys think of my video, and overall, what do you guys think of the Fortuneteller Baba Saga as a whole? Like, love, or hate, I'd love to hear back from you guys, and please like and subscribe if you guys want more content. And as always, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Please take care, I love you, and I can't wait to deliver you guys another video on the next EnteRChazmaN. Bye guys. Hey now, I see you made it through the video and liked or even possibly loved it. Well, if you want to see any more additional content or you'd like to get into contact with me, consider checking out some of my social medias right here. And if you'd like to go above and beyond and want to support my channel monetarily, here is also a couple places where you can do so. And if nothing else, simply liking, sharing, and subscribing would make me the happiest ChazmaN on the planet.